Okay, we're gonna go with my Bundak, my home, my BE, no matter where you are in the world. And yes, I'm double checking to make sure I'm actually live, being heard, and everything else. So you'll have to forgive me for just a second. Hey, I'm actually live, being heard, and everything else. There we go. Yeah, I'm screwing things up horribly here. Okay, my apologies about being late so late this morning. That I was actually editing the Chica Chica video. That I tried to within 24 hours go back and closed caption any of the videos that I post, not the live streams, just the videos. I do allow Facebook, YouTube to auto caption the live streams, but it takes me about 45 minutes to do, half an hour to 45 minutes to do a 10, 12-minute video. Uh, Premiere Pro has made it way more simpler to do closed captioning on these videos. That I may actually even do a video about that, the process that it does, that it takes you through. It's made going back and re-editing one of these to do the closed captioning way more simple than it has ever been. And they generate the correct files for YouTube and for most broadcast software. So it's a stupid, simple thing to do. But with Cindy and I both talking, there's a lot of times that the I don't know what kind of software they use to come up with a transcript, but the transcript often does get a little bit confused. The times that we've done one where we each had speaking parts and done them, and it was a little bit less talking over each other. That it made it way simpler, and it actually made it a lot better to do because I could clearly show who was speaking. When we've got not a huge amount, but we've got a fair amount of deaf friends back in Phoenix, and this is just a way to include them into our videos and let them see life here. I don't know what's sounding like. Okay. On Cindy's phone, I guess there was a little bit of an issue with the sound. And Cindy's really good about helping me check this stuff out. And anytime, whether live stream from the office or watching live stream, she's really good about letting me know that there's been an issue. Did not share that there was doing the live stream today. That, like I said, I screwed up. I dropped the ball horribly on that one. And I didn't use my app for that to remind me to stay on track. Speaking of which, I need to go back and tell my app what I'm actually doing. Yeah, I've got an app to keep track of my time to help me keep on track and keep on task with what's going on. I questionably need those kind of apps. Then, when my phone looks the way it does, there's quite definitely an app for that. They need to come up with a coffee maker app, though. Although there's some coffee makers with apps in them. don't know if that quite counts or not. Okay. My phone wasn't logging back in, so I'm kind of curious. I had to restart it. Uh, we are getting a little bit back on schedule, getting back on track with things like that. It's a challenge. It's China is unquestionably having a layer challenge to it, but we're rising to that challenge. And Mama and Papa are being an immense, unbelievably blessing, from straight from God on that one. That they are helping us out to know Him in indescribable ways. They are helping us out. The benefit we get from having them with us is beyond words. Which is why when we told them we wanted them to take a day off, take a night off, and they said they want to go back to Samoa for a night, and okay, cool. So Sunday morning, or possibly even Saturday night, we may give them Saturday afternoon and just tell them come back Sunday, Monday morning. Whatever you would like, we'll come down and pick you up. And we offered to pay for a cab so they can have a nice, comfortable ride back. And they said no, they kind of like the bus and that. Okay. And so Cindy and I talked about it, and we're just going to give them the money that we were going to that we expected to pay for the cab to go down with, and let them order food, do whatever they need to with it. Yesterday, Cindy had her OB-GYN appointment finally, and it went well. That she got her injection for birth control. Up until this point, we've never considered birth control really a necessity, and so when she was having some issues with it, we just it's not worth it. Don't worry about it. And God seemed to have had another thing in store after a while. When timing was his. That the OB-GYN said, yeah, she's back to normal. That just continue working on the weight loss. And if you do it, like it is reasonable. The sooner you do it, the better, the easier it's going to be. With that in mind, I talked with her a couple times about this, and she'd been a little bit resistant to it. But there again, I talked to her about getting a sterilizer, a bottle sterilizer. It's going to be a lot easier and more convenient to just put the bottles in there, click it on, and be done with it, and come back in 20 minutes, pick them out, and you're great. You're good to go. And she was hesitant about that. She wanted to do the boiling and the sterilizing and yada, yada, yada. And yesterday she decided one of the sterilizers wasn't that bad of an idea. Some of them were in the $5,000 to $7,000 peso range. That they were insanely expensive. Some of them were dirt cheap, and they kind of looked like there was a reason why they were dirt cheap. And we found a mid-range one that had all of the basic functions that the really high-end ones did. Maybe not quite all of the bells and whistles, but a lot of the bells and whistles were silly anyhow. One of them even had a timer to cook eggs in, so that you could use it as a steamer to hard boil eggs. Yeah, no, I don't. I guess if you really wanted to, you probably could, but yeah, I don't. But anyways, the one we got is adaptable well enough that when she starts eating food and stuff like that, that it will change it. The internals will change enough to go from doing just bottles to where you can do plates and cups, so that they're good and clean for her and all that good stuff. But and it was mid price range. I'm pulling a blank on what it cost. Cindy, if you can remember what it cost, if you're comfortable sharing it, just throw in a comment on how much it cost. The other thing we got that it was really pricey and drove the price of everything up. We got a very nice stroller. People will start seeing that one. We will probably do a walking live stream sometime in the next month with Cindy and I, just walking the neighborhood. We're still going to have to let Mama get comfortable with it and used to it. But it's one of the strollers, and I was kind of surprised because we stopped in there a while ago. We got it from the SM store in Ayala. We stopped in there before, and they had one that had the detachable baby carrier. But we were talking about, but I thought it was a car seat. And they said, no, it's not a car seat. It's a detachable baby carrier. It's not a legal car seat. And so I thought that's what this had. It is a detachable car carrier, not car seat. And the guys corrected me and said, no, this one is certified as a car seat. And he popped it off and showed us all the proper stickers. And he even made comment that it's got the international sticker so that it should be good in the U.S. As a car seat. Whether or not it will be, I don't know. But when we go back, we'll have to look a little bit more into it and decide whether or not it is or isn't. If it is not, we're going to have to come up with a game plan to deal with the U.S. car seat issue for just a few months, because it wouldn't be worth getting a good car seat. But we know enough people that have kids that we're thinking we could probably borrow a car seat for a few months. Or may have one to donate it to us. I don't know. But that's a bridge we'll cross when we come to it, a few months down the road. Sunshine only has seat belts in 2 positions in the back. So if we do put it in as a car seat, I don't know whether or not we'd be able to fit 3 people in the back, or if we'd have to limit it to 2, because the back seat even has a center console. So I don't know whether or not a third person could sit back there or not. And again, that's going to be a bridge we're going to have to cross when we come to it. But for like going to doctor's visits and stuff like that, this will be something very good. Shauna's getting heavier. She's 10.34 pounds or something like that. She's getting to be a little over 10 pounds. She's getting to be a little sack of rice. I think she did surpass the 5 kilo mark. But yeah, we're moving along. This morning it was kind of raining and kind of spitting all morning, so I didn't get out and fly the drone like I wanted to. I'm trying to get back into flying a drone on Tuesday, Thursday mornings before I do the live stream and all this, and seeing how much I can fit into the schedule we've got now. And right now, a lot of it's just exactly that. Seeing how much we can fit into the schedule we've got. That for at least a couple hours during the day, I go in and I tell Cindy to go away and go get some sleep, or I'll take Shauna downstairs and just kind of wander around for a couple hours let Cindy get at least a couple hours nap during the day so that she's got a little bit extra sleep. I am a horribly heavy sleeper. You can pretty much yell, scream, and everything else and not wake me up. I have always had bad problems with with waking up and alarm clocks and everything else, and just didn't get up. And I'd have 3 or 4 alarm clocks placed throughout the bedroom, so I physically had to get out of bed to shut them off. And still needed a couple, 3 of them to do it. Chana is the same exact way. And most kids are real heavy sleepers like that. When they're awake, they're going at full tilt. When they're down, they completely crash. Unless you want them to sleep, and then a pin drop of next county over will wake them up. And so when Chana fusses at night, I just don't stir. There has been a couple times that she is reached over and nudged me. Because that's the other weird thing, too. Is a fly will wake me up in a heartbeat. That if you get something to touch me, that I will instantly come awake. It is in my younger days, I would often come awake almost violently. So it was never a healthy thing to do. But as I've aged, that's kind of wore down. Where I still wake up quickly, but I don't wake up quite as violently. But there's been a couple times that she's woken me up and said, "Hey, I am dead. Can you deal with this?" And she's changed, right? I don't do diapers. No, just haven't, never did. With my son, I rarely did. And the times I did, I actually had a whole respirator with a couple of real weak cartridges that I put aftershave in anytime I had to go in there and do it. For some reason, the smell of turd, I will nearly be retching. That I will frequently just explosively vomit. Outhouses used to bother the heck out of me as a kid. I'd go in there and I'd be about half puking the entire time that I was in there. Porta potties are about the same way. Unless it is a sheer desperation thing, I've never used porta potties on job sites. I'll go find a tree to go take a leak behind if need be. But yeah, I just never handled that. Even when our dog, the ex and I used to have a dog, and even cleaning up after him would evoke the same reaction. Cow turd, it doesn't bother me. A lot of animal turd don't bother me. Dog for some reason, cats will gag me every freaking time, which is part of the reason why I don't like cats. But yeah, that's kind of an agreement Cindy and I have. That whenever I go to take Chana for Cindy's afternoon nap, Mom has been forewarned that she may get tapped, but Cindy will make sure that she has recently been changed or been changed immediately before I grab her. And it's just a thing with me that even my son, that he was one of these kids that would spit up half of what he ate. And he was fairly newborn at this point. I believe less than a month old or just a month or so old. But the exit fed him. And I took him to burp him and was talking, I believe, with her parents. That they were visiting her, but I was talking with somebody, and I don't really remember who. And Buddy just puked all over my freaking freaking chest. Then when he burped, everything, half of what he ate came up with it. And it just came up on straight on my chest, right under my nose. And it caught me, and I immediately turned around. Unfortunately, I was right at the sink. And helped get off to the side. Somebody grabbed him. And so I was freaking pitching chunks in the sink. I just, certain smells, for whatever reason, will do that to me. I can be in a slaughterhouse and it doesn't bother me. But certain smells, for whatever reason, just do that. They will instantly turn my stomach horribly. Vomit is another one that if you got somebody that vomit, especially a really, really bad acidic smell, will make me piss chunks quick. One time in 7th grade in health class, somebody was trying to hide a bag of M&Ms, and they opened them up and they spilled all over, and it sounded exactly like somebody puking. And it was right after lunch period. Lunch wasn't setting terribly well with me, and the sound was enough to trigger me. And as soon as I heard that sound, I did piss chunks all over. But it was kind of funny. Like I said, normally I've got a really strong stomach, but for some reason that there's just certain key smells that do that to me. Even going through that area that we walked through yesterday, there were some areas that I questioned whether or not they had facilities, but there was some pretty strong smells in that area, and that didn't really bother me. And that I smelled it was offensive, but it wasn't. I wasn't worried about pitching chunks or anything like that. But it wasn't. It was kind of offensive, and I wanted to get out of there really quick. Going through the dried fish section in the wet markets. That anybody that's been through those things, that is a horribly strong smell. And to me, it's a rancid, nasty odor. But it doesn't bother me as far as making me physically ill. Even gutted fish, cleaning animals, cleaning game animals, it has never bothered me. Watching animals get slaughtered, helping animals, helping during that process has never bothered me. But just certain key smells is what bothers me badly. But anyways, like I said, I try to watch her and help out in that respect. And because of what I just beat to death in comment is that she will make sure she's changed, and Mama's been forewarned that if Shauna does do a load up a diaper rather quickly, she'll probably get tapped to change her. And we've got diapers stationed outside of the room as well. We've got a couple of diapers in a cart that will roll back and forth between the landing way and the Mama and Papa's room when they're using it. And so that there was a couple of open diapers on that still. Although Shauna's actually outgrowing the newborn diapers already. She's barely over a month old. And the newborn diapers and what we've got, the stock we've got, we're not going to replenish until we run out of them or on the last few and make a decision at that point whether we want to get one more pack or get the next size up. When we were buying diapers, we did buy the next size up for a couple packs, not knowing how long the 4 or 5 packs we got were going to last. But we do have a couple in reserve for the next size up. I think it's 1 to 3 months is the next size. and she hasn't broken into any of those yet. But at the end, when these are used up, she would probably break into them and see if they're a little bit too big still, or if they're going to be more correct size for her. And some of you guys that have been watching the channel more, that we did I think I posted it. I don't know if I posted it yet. I think I did. A couple months ago, we did a Landers Hall or Metro Hall, baby hall, and we spent quite a bit of money and bought a bunch of baby clothes. And a lot of the baby clothes look like they're not going to be used. Well, we didn't buy a whole lot of outfits, and it's the outfits that look like they're going to want to get donated to somebody else. She's worn a couple of them. We've done some photos. That in our description below, that there's a link to a Flickr account, and we posted the Flickr account there, and we posted them on Facebook a while ago too. But there's only been a couple of the outfits that she's worn. I got her a really cutesy Hello Kitty one that we're not entirely sure she's ever going to wind up wearing. And so we may wind up putting her in the outfit for a day just to get some photos and let her wear the outfit for a day. And we kind of talked about it this morning. Her and I do coffee in the morning. That we both put the phones away and everything else, so it's just her, Shauna, and I. And we'll sit down and we'll have coffee together every morning. And it allows us to figure out what's going on for the day and talk about things that have been going on and kind of decompress. I'm not really decompressed because maybe we started our day to pre-decompress, I guess. I don't know how you want to say that, but it just allows us some time to get together and come up with a game plan for the day. And that was something we talked about in today's coffee, is that from here on out, we're just going to buy an outfit or two and have it for when she goes out. But any more than that, we're not going to, unless we're going someplace specific and she needs a specific outfit or a specific look. Yeah, we're not going to buy a whole lot of outfits that she's just going to outrun way too fast. And that's a problem with kids. That's a problem with kids. There's a lot of kids that, especially new parents, or back in the U.S. where babies will frequently get during the baby shower, that they'll frequently get 15 outfits if people buy them. But they outgrow them so fast, there's a few of them that they just never wind up wearing. And especially as an infant, they really don't go anywhere. And that was part of the problem. We got our outfits kind of planning on trying to take their places, but with everything still going on, that we haven't been terribly comfortable. And we talked to the doctor about it yesterday. We talked to Cindy Zobigani about it. And, she qualified, I'm not a pediatrician, but her immune system should be good enough under normal circumstances. Yeah, take her out wherever you want to go. With current situation, with the COVID and all this good stuff, you might want to rethink taking her many places that would be very busy or something like that. Just err to the side of caution. And we said, no, just kind of like walking through the neighborhood and just taking her out and getting both Cindy and my mom more comfortable with Shauna being out in public, and getting Shauna comfortable with riding in a stroller in an environment where home is quick. The getting back to the house is not, it is a real quick feat. So, and it's a good thing in that. And like I say, here in the next month or so, after she's been out a few times and is way more comfortable, Cindy and I just might do a live stream. That I've got a couple of adapters and stuff that would work well that we could do, and just attach the camera to the phone, or the camera to the phone to the stroller so that we can, both of us do a live stream and kind of allow people to see where everything is and what's going on, and still have it to where we can, include John in there as much as we can. But anyways, that would be something we're gonna have to plan out and figure out. We'll probably do a couple of videos doing that first, just to play with it, experiment it. Whether or not the videos ever get posted, probably a decent chance of it, but not a guaranteed chance of it. That I'm coming up on 10 o'clock when I normally end, and I got such a horribly late start that it looks like probably not a whole lot of people are going to join. I can definitely understand and relate to that. And there are a few things that I need to get done today too, because there's some food stuff we need to get. It's probably going to be gotten in Metro. We had intended on doing some of that shopping yesterday, but Cindy had a really bad headache, and I have a little bit of a headache, just the weather conditions, some sinus pressure. And ever since late in the pregnancy, Cindy been getting the sinus headaches a little bit more than she ever did before too. And it could be just the weather issues too. But and actually, I don't have a whole lot more of it. I'm going to be going to probably Seaside today. We'll just jump on the bike and go down. Jump on Route C and go down. Just simply because I need to get some parts for Sunshine. The radiator fan still isn't working right, and I need to get a solution to that. I found what the issue is, and that they put a fusible link in, and either the fuse holder, the connection, or there's something wrong with that fusible link. The fuse was blown, and so I tried to do the quick redneck engineering thing. It's one of the blade type fuses. So I took a couple of strands of wire from another stranded wire and did a figure 8 on it. When I pulled it out, I noticed that they had done the same thing, which is telling me that fuse was blown when they put it in. And so I'm not sure if it's an underrated fuse for what's being used. Because it's popping in and out, that there's a sudden draw that it would need a slow blow fuse. I'm not sure, so I'm just going to double the amperage on the fuse and see if that corrects it. If not, I'm going to have wiring set up to where I can just direct wire it and bypass the fusible link altogether. One thing I've seen done in the past, and I might get, if I can find a freaking kit to do it with. Crimp connectors here are hard to find. I can get them off of Lazada, but they take forever to show up. But the other situation that I may look at and see if I can do is the flag connectors. I've seen somebody do 2 flag connectors real back to back and plug the flags in where the fuse blades would go. And so it's basically a straight wire connection without having to destroy the fusible link. And so I there's a few workaround solutions I've got for the meantime. And so we can get the car down to Sunshine down to Sabuna to have Adrian go through and correct everything that needs to be corrected again. Going to be doing a review of Sunshine after the first of the year, and that one will definitely be worth checking out when it comes out. I've got some interesting comments about buying a multi-cab in the Philippines, but it's 10 o'clock, and I'm kind of out of things to say today, so. Anybody that did show up, I appreciate it. And from Cebu City, mabuhay.